All right, so Miami stays very patient and ends up landing Cam Ward in this process. I think that Cam Ward declared for the NFL draft. Might have gotten some different news on that front, but J.J. McCarthy also entering into the draft. Okay, as well. I'll tell you this. So Miami has a quarterback on their roster that's a freshman. That's a 6'6" quarterback, Judd Anderson, from Georgia. Okay, played high school ball at Georgia, basketball player as well, 6'6". Now, he is probably a project, and he was ranked as a 3-star, but I think Judd Anderson can be really good eventually. But we're talking now about Cam Ward in this Miami quarterback room. They played this perfectly. They did not panic in this process. I believe that they also were probably interested in Tua's brother as well. And if Cam Ward was going to declare for the draft, then Tua's brother was probably going to come aboard. Now, Tua's brother is going to the National Football League. I look at Cam Ward, and these are the things that Cam Ward does well. He is a guy that improvises well. He is somebody that rolls out of the pocket. He's somebody that is comfortable in improv and scramble mode, which is a great value, I would say, really in the modern game. I would say it's a value in the modern game because defensive ends are so fast that you don't want to be a sitting duck back there in the pocket, whether you're in college football or the NFL. And also receivers are used to scramble drills now more than ever. I think that coaches have evolved too to allow more improvisational skills. I think that from an offensive coordinator perspective, Dawson is going to allow Cam Ward to be to use his skill sets. I think that Cam Ward could play in structure as well. Really good quarterback at Washington State. Somebody that if he was drafted in the third or fourth round this year, people think that he would have been a gem of a prospect or recruit. I will say this now. So now he's playing in the ACC. He's playing in a bigger market. I'll tell you why I like the move for Cam Ward. Because Cam Ward this year in the quarterbacking process, this is just my opinion, okay? He was not going to go above Michael Penix in the process. He was not going to be up there with Jaden Daniels, who's probably a top 5 pick, Heisman Trophy winner, mobility, 6'3", 6'4", all of that. Caleb Williams is monumentally talented. He's going first round. Bo Nix, I believe, actually will shock. I believe that Bo Nix will actually maybe be drafted above Michael Penix. He might even be I think he'll be a better pro, actually, than Michael Penix. I'm starting to believe that. I'm almost ready to say it because Bo Nix has – I just think he can be very accurate. I think he can recognize coverages. Michael Penix, like a lot of times, will throw 50-50 balls, but you look at the NFL and they're very risk-averse in the National Football League. It's not all Bruce Arians air it out everywhere, and Michael Penix couldn't run into, turnovers. But Michael Penix does have more talent in terms of arm strength than anybody in the class. How is he going to do decision-making wise? And again, seeing the game quick. If that works out, then Penix will be a star. But if he doesn't see it, he's going to have bad mechanics, and he's going to force the ball, and there's going to be turnovers, and the ownership and coaches won't be that patient. But anyway, we have Bo Nix, we have Michael Penix. Again, I like Michael Penix, the person, and I think he can actually be pretty good. I actually have those quarterbacks above Drake May in the process. So then we look at Cam Ward. Cam Ward doesn't exactly... To me, I think he has decent arm strength. I think he can continue to gain arm strength. I think he has a strong enough arm to play in the NFL. But I want to see the arm even improve if possible. I think he's very fast. I think that he's an electric player on the outside that can scramble. I want to see him play more in structure. At times, he would turn the ball over. I want to see him play in structure. I can't wait to see him lead another program. I want to see him anticipate throws. A lot of times, guys are open. It's important for him to anticipate throws. Now, Shannon Dawson, kind of from that aerial raid kind of scheme, but run some more motions. So if you're Cam Ward, here's the thing about Miami, which is kind of interesting. I'm trying to think about this. If I were Cam Ward, I want to go to a place that can develop me for the NFL. So I want to go to like a pro-style offense that can get you ready to play in the National Football League. So I'm very surprised that he didn't actually consider Ohio State or didn't consider Michigan. Drew Aller at Penn State. I think that the Penn State fans have a lot of confidence in Drew Aller, but Andy Kotelnicki's scheme, I would want to go to a place with excellent scheme. And I think that Shannon Dawson, he's somebody that needs to prove himself in terms of scheme. And I know that you could put up big stats, but the NFL, here's the thing about Cam Ward, is he's played in an air raid offense throughout his time. So Cam Ward would have been a mid-round pick because he's only played 1 year of college at Washington State. They went 4-8. I told you the arm strength is not to the level of the other guys, and you're battling against Heisman contenders. You're battling against guys that just have more starts at the FBS level, and people think that you're a little bit shorter and that your arm is probably not elite. And this year's quarterback class is really good. Bo Nix is in this class. Even Rattler is somebody that at South Carolina had a similar year to Cam Ward. But if Cam Ward has a great season this year, Cam Ward is going to be a first-round player. There's a lot I like about Cam Ward. He has the mobility to play on Sundays. He does have a strong enough arm to play on Sundays. He has talented traits. He is tremendous at making plays out of nothing. He definitely could throw the ball of touch, and he's going to continue to hone in. I can't wait to see Cam Ward continue to use his football IQ. Guy's a tremendous leader. What he did at Washington State was amazing. I love the kid Cam Ward. It's one of my favorite stories in all of college football. I mean, this player, Cam Ward, played in a very small town in Texas. Believe he played in a wishbone offense, kind of exactly like a real deep cut here, but Mississippi State had a quarterback, Nick Fitzgerald, that was an SEC starter for a multitude of years. Dan Mullen picked him up because he played in a, wing T offense, like a Naval Academy offense in high school. That's exactly what Cam Ward did, in the rural town that he was from, which is a half hour outside of Houston, Texas. Then he went to Incarnate Word. He went to Word, an NIA school, okay? And he balled out there, and then he went to Washington State, and Eric Morris was hired as an offensive coordinator there. He followed Eric Morris there. Now Eric Morris is at North Texas as a head coach. Cam Ward's had an incredible journey. Cam Ward was a guy who made plenty of plays. Had Arbuckle as an offensive coordinator there that I liked a lot from Western Kentucky. And so Cam Ward, one of my favorites. What a story, what a journey. I think that this is the right decision for him because you know what? You go out there and you put up decent numbers. Next year's quarterback class has yet to take shape yet. There's going to be a lot of surprises next year in the quarterback class, okay? Nobody really is a lock to go early in the quarterback class next year. Nobody is a lock. You have Drew Aller, who at Penn State people laugh at, but he's a 5-star. Graham Mertz can pop off. Like, people are going to come out of nowhere next year and be right up there in the quarterbacking class. People are going to come out of nowhere. That's what it's going to have to require. Carson Beck might even go in the first round. It's a weaker class than when you have Drake, Caleb, Jaden Daniels, Bo, Penix, Rattler, J.J. McCarthy, all hovering. That's why it's a smart move for Cam Ward. And he makes a good amount of money. And he gets to feel what it's like to play in a very big city with high expectations. And that's going to serve him very well for the National Football League. For Miami, this is really good. You get a proven commodity at the quarterback position, one of the best quarterbacks coming back into the ACC, better quarterback than at Clemson by far, and right up there with the quarterback at Florida State. So Miami now has a signal caller that's an absolute stud. First one since like De'Aaron King. We can talk about Brad Kaya and all of that. Miami now is set, and I'm excited to see how Shannon Dawson also develops Judd Anderson because Judd Anderson can really, with practice, he could be the successor to Cam Ward, and you could now have real success. If you also are a wide receiver, unfortunately, Cam Ward committed to Miami later in this process, but it's sad that a guy like Jeremiah Smith did not want to stay home and play with a Cam Ward. Transfer portal wise, there's really good players at Arizona. There's players at Alabama. Malik Benson went to Florida State. Miami, I think, could use top-end wide receiver talent. I could look at their roster more, but that's kind of where we're at. Again, I appreciate you guys listening to the show. I think for Cam Ward, this is the best decision. If you're a round 4 quarterback, the only chances you're going to get to go on the field is if your starter is poor or if the starter gets hurt, and you don't want to root for injury. But if you're Cam Ward and then next year somebody takes a first-round value on you, you're going to get 3 years of leeway, and the owner and the coach are going to be committed to seeing you play and gain success. This is you going to the ACC, a new challenge, getting paid well, I believe, to go to Miami. I like this decision for a lot of reasons. Like I said, when you're a round 3 quarterback and the starter doesn't get injured or hurt or whatever, or doesn't struggle, you will then be nullified to being a backup as a spot starter. You might not start a game until your 4th year. But if you are a round 1 guy or even a high round 2 guy, you're going to get your chances probably in the first 2 years to be that quarterback. So, good decision for Cam Ward. And again, I think there's a lot more for him to accomplish in college. And if he could take Miami back to a place of 9 or 10 wins, it would be something that would really help his legacy. And Miami's just a wonderful school that he can continue to, continue to progress, continue to see defenses. I want Cam Ward to be able to point out audibles and then say, okay, this is the look we have. We're going to go score. So continue that. Continue to evolve, because he has been in the air raid for a couple of years in the NFL. Is mostly like a Shanahan pro-style system. I think Shannon Dawson will give Cam Ward more, things on his plate. He'll have chances to audible, I think, at Miami. And it's all about QB development. So all in all, I think it's good for both parties involved in this process. Let me know what y'all think. Does this raise the ceiling of Miami? I think it does, but how much so? What do you guys think about Cam Ward, the college player? What do you think about him potentially going to the NFL next year? What do you think he would have been in the draft? All of those are questions that you guys, I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about it. Thank you guys, and take care.